mode after 5 years, but still it is okay. And I'm thankful to the organizers and everyone who is investing their time into this for this interesting yet tricky session on input service distribution. Before I enter into that thing, because I want to keep it interactive, I will be asking you many questions and expecting answers from the participant in the chat box. So please be with me. And as far as the topic is concerned, input service distribution, first thing that is very much relevant, that GST is origin based tax or destination based tax. I will require answer in the chat box. Destination. One answer I got, and that is correct answer. This is destination based tax. What is destination based tax? Suppose a transaction or a supply takes place from Delhi to Maharashtra and goods or service is being consumed in Maharashtra. Then the tax that government will be getting is Maharashtra, not Delhi. And this is what we have to think from the point of view of government. Wherever a good or service is being consumed, that state will be getting the tax. So if a supply is taking place from Delhi to Maharashtra and I pay some tax in Delhi, or tax goes to Delhi government, although I paid the taxes, but it has not reached the government where it should have been intended to. So we have to be very careful that which government, which state we are paying taxes to. Because otherwise, if I pay tax to Delhi, although I paid the taxes, but the correct government has not received the taxes. What will happen later on? Maharashtra government, they will ask tax from us, and it will be very difficult to get taxes back from Delhi. Although there is a provision, we can claim the refund, but as we know, even refund can be claimed within 2 years only. So if the mistake comes to our knowledge after 2 years, it will create a problem for us. This is the first question. Second question, relevance of the term place of supply. Well, let me tell you, place of supply is nothing. The government that will get the tax, that is the place of supply. So if transaction is taking place or supply is taking place from Delhi to Maharashtra, then place of supply is Delhi or Maharashtra. I will seek answer from you in the chat box. That will keep the session interactive. Otherwise, it will. First answer is Delhi. Transaction is taking place or supply is taking place from Delhi to Maharashtra. Goods or service are being consumed in Maharashtra, not in Delhi. Destination is Maharashtra. Then place of supply is not Delhi, it is Maharashtra. Many answer I have received is Delhi. Delhi is incorrect answer. Supply, Delhi is origin based tax. Maharashtra is destination. Delhi is origin, Maharashtra is destination, and GST is destination based tax. If place of supply you say Delhi, it means Delhi government will get the taxes, which is not the correct answer. Supply is taking place from Delhi to Maharashtra. So can I get the answer again? Delhi or Maharashtra? Maharashtra, okay. One answer I got. Okay. Now we all are on the same page. The correct answer is Maharashtra. And the third question I have for all of you, who is a distinct person under GST? Who is a distinct person under GST? Although the word distinct itself says like to different person, but let me tell you, under GST, one person who has the same pen but different GST numbers, that person is called a distinct person. Okay, let me ask you a question. How many pen do we have on all India basis, on pan India basis? How many pen number do we have? One, correct answer. Whether I'm in Delhi or I'm in Maharashtra, whether I'm in Punjab or in Haryana, all over India, pan India basis, I will have only one pen number because that is a centralized number. But if on the same one pen, I have business in Delhi, I have business in Maharashtra, I have business in Punjab, three different states, I have my business there. I can have three GST numbers. All three GST numbers will have different GST numbers, but all three GST numbers will have one PAN. So if I take the example of Reliance Industries, say Reliance Industries Delhi, Reliance Industries Punjab, Reliance Industries Maharashtra. PAN number of Reliance Industries will be one all over India, but it will have three GST. So Reliance Industries is a distinct person having same PAN number but different GST numbers. These terms are really very important before we go to the concept of input service distribution. We should have this background or this knowledge before we go to the main topic. Now, next slide. Now, I'm going to share an example with you, and this example will be there for next 1 hour. And if you understand this example clearly, concept of understanding input service distribution will be quite easier for all of you. And do not forget this example. This is the easiest example which pertains to, I should say, pertains to our daily basis understanding. Assume there is a property which has got 4 floors and 4 different tenants live there. Tenant A, tenant B, tenant C, tenant D. And total electricity bill for lift during a particular month is 36,000 rupees. How much will each tenant pay? So that the bill of 36,000 rupees gets paid. I will seek answers from you in the chat box. Think and then answer. 9,000, 3 answer. Okay, one person is saying voice is not clear. I would like to ask organizers if voice is not clear. Well, most of the people have said 9,000. One answer is there in the ratio of electric points used by every house. That is somewhat so we cannot reach. But assuming that all tenants use the lift equally and equal amount is used by each of them. So the answer is 9,000 is assuming that there is no difference that one stays on the top floor, one stays on the, assuming that the time that each tenant used was equal and every tenant used the lift. So answer is 9,000. Now we move to the next example. This example is quite important before we understand the concept of input service distribution. Do not forget this example. In next 60 minutes, I will be coming back to this example again and again. Now we move to the next example. Same building, total electricity bill for lift is 36,000 rupees. Tenant A used this. Tenant A used the lift. Tenant B used the lift. Tenant C was out of the city for entire month. He was not present. And tenant D also used the lift. First question, will tenant C pay electricity bill? Assuming that they have an understanding that those who will use the lift, they will pay. Those who will not use the lift, they will not pay. Assuming with this background, will tenant C pay any share for electricity bill? With this understanding that they have an understanding that those who will use the lift, only they will pay the bill. C did not use the lift at all. So C will not pay. With this background or this understanding. And how much will A, B, and D pay? The answer is 12,000. Simple answer. Simple question, simple answer. Do not forget this, because when we talk about input service distribution, you will see only the specific person or the person who has been into consideration or into the question, they will get the credit. And the person who is not involved into a particular service, who has not received the service, who has not consumed the service, they will not get any credit. Now, next question, which is really very important because that will give you many answers. I said that in this particular building, there are 4 tenants, tenant A, tenant B, tenant C, tenant D. Generally, electricity bill is issued in whose name? Is it issued in the name of tenant or in the name of landlord? I am seeking answer from you. I would like to keep it very interactive. Landlord is again, okay, this is done. I have got the answer. The answer is correct. The answer is landlord. Okay, the answer is correct. Okay, now very important difference between input service distribution and cross charge. Now we are moving to the main topic with this question. Whatever I shared earlier or whatever examples I gave, those were relevant so that we could understand these terms. Difference between ISD and cross charge. Before I discuss ISD, let us understand cross charge. I said Reliance has got 3 different GST numbers. All over India basis, they have only 1 PAN number, but Delhi, Punjab, Maharashtra, they have 3 GST numbers. Assume some service is supplied from Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra. Some service is provided from Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra. Is it an example of ISD or cross charge? I am again seeking answer from you. First answer is ISD. Let me assure you, whatever answer you will give, it will be correct answer. Okay, we can stop. Now let me share. You see, I give you an example of, I do not seek any other answer. Now I'm taking the session further. When I said that Reliance Delhi is providing or supplying service to Reliance Maharashtra, they have common PAN number but different GST number. This is said to be a case of cross charge and not input service distribution. This is not a case of input service distribution. Input service distribution, I will give example in next 2 or 3 minutes. But this is an example of cross charge. Cross charge means one common PAN number and different GST. One GST having same PAN number, it's supplying service to another common PAN but different GST number. This is a case of cross charge. So now I would require answer from all of you again with the understanding that I have shared with you that Reliance Delhi is providing service to Reliance Maharashtra. This is an example of ISD or cross charge. Now I would require that everyone answers correctly. Yes, cross charge. Okay, this is done. Thank you. Cross charge. Now please have a look at the screen that is visible on your mobile or at your laptop. Distinct person A is providing or supplying services to distinct person B. Distinct person B, their PAN number is same, but their GST number is different. This is an example of cross charge. Now, let me give you an example of input service distribution. Here, supplier of service is issuing invoice to Reliance Delhi. Is issuing invoice to Reliance Delhi. But providing services to Reliance Delhi, Reliance Punjab, and Reliance Haryana. Let me give you another example. Suppose supplier of service is such that it provides manpower services to 3 branches or 3 places of Reliance, Delhi, Punjab, and Haryana. And it has provided 6 security guards, total 6 security guards, 2 security guards in Delhi, 2 security guards in Punjab, and 2 security guards in Haryana. But what happens at the end of the month? It will issue invoice, of course, because it has provided 6 security guards, and it issues a common invoice to head office Delhi, whereas those security guards were supplying their services. 2 security guards were at Delhi, 2 security guards were at Punjab, and 2 security guards were at Haryana. This is an example of input service distribution. Now I ask you another question, and that will give you clear idea what is difference between cross charge and input service distribution. Please understand or listen to the question carefully. How many parties should be there in a cross charge system? How many parties were there? 2, okay, 2, well, perfect. That is the exact answer which I was seeking, that there are 2 parties, 2 different GST, Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra or Reliance Delhi to Reliance Punjab. There were 2 parties, 2 different GSTs. There were 2 parties. And in case of input service distributor, there is a supplier which is issuing invoice to head office, but providing services to head office Delhi, branch office Punjab, branch office Haryana. How many parties are there? In the case of input service distribution. Well, we can say 3, we can say 4 as well. 3 or more. Exact. Mr. Arun Kumar has answered it exactly. 3 or more. In input service distribution, there will be at least 3 parties, or it can be more than 3 parties. Now, listen to a question again and then answer. Do not have a look at this screen. Listen to a question. Assuming a security guard agency is providing its security guards to Delhi and Maharashtra, but issuing invoice to Delhi only. How many parties are there? Security guard agency is providing security guards to Delhi and Maharashtra, but issuing invoice to Delhi. How many parties are there? The answer is 3. This is the only difference which you should keep in your mind, that in input service distribution there are at least 3 parties, but in cross charge there are 2 parties, 2 distinct GSTs, distinct person. Do not think from the point of view of PAN number. We are talking about GST, not income tax. Think from the perspective of GST. Delhi and Maharashtra, although they may have same PAN number, but for the purpose of levy and collection of taxes, Delhi government is different, Maharashtra government is different. Those are to be considered as 2 distinct persons. Distinct person means having same PAN number, but having different GST numbers. Now, we read the definition of input service distributor. Now, if you have understood the concept by now, you will appreciate the definition that you will read. Please read the keywords to understand its meaning. Definition of input service distributor as per section 2, clause 61. Input service distributor means an office of the supplier of goods or services or both which receives tax invoice towards the receipt of input services, and then again please read the red part only, for or on behalf of distinct persons. Input service distributor means an office which receives tax invoice. The example I took where security guard agency was providing security services to Delhi and Maharashtra, but invoice is being received by Delhi. The invoice that Delhi state is receiving, it is receiving for and or on behalf of distinct persons, means Delhi as well as Maharashtra. It means invoice is issued to someone else and service is consumed either by the same state or by some other states. Now, if I ask you, assuming now please understand a different question and then answer that. Assuming a security guard agency provides security guards to Reliance Maharashtra, but issues its invoice to Reliance Delhi. All security guards were at Reliance Maharashtra, issues its invoice to Reliance Delhi. If you think from the point of view of Form 2A, I know many accountants will be there, those belong to finance, in which Reliance Delhi or Reliance Maharashtra, in Form 2B, that credit will be appearing. If his invoice is being issued from security agency to Reliance Delhi, in those 2B, will that credit be appearing? Reliance Delhi or Reliance Maharashtra? First answer is Delhi. Delhi. Second answer is also Delhi, and this is the correct answer. This is the correct answer because I assume that we understand little bit of GST of Form 2B as well. Because invoice is in the name of Reliance Delhi, it will be appearing in the GST, no? But is Reliance Delhi the correct party or correct recipient where that service is being consumed? Service is being consumed in Maharashtra. Is Delhi entitled to claim credit for that? Yes or no? Of course, the answer is no. Because although Delhi has received the invoice, but service is being consumed in Maharashtra, so actually credit should also be consumed by Maharashtra only. And why will Delhi government allow credit into Reliance Delhi when service is not being consumed in Delhi? So what should really happen? First, supplier will issue invoice to Reliance Delhi, and later on, Reliance Delhi will issue separate invoice to Reliance Maharashtra and pass on that credit from Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra. Ultimately, the credit will be consumed by Reliance Maharashtra, not Reliance Delhi. If you all are with me till now, can I have a yes? If someone hasn't understood this concept, then I will explain the same again. I got only one yes. Okay, one person had said that he hasn't understood, so I will repeat it one more time. Okay. No more answer is required. I will repeat this once more because one person has said that he hasn't understood. You see, if security guard agency has provided its security man to Reliance Maharashtra, but issued its invoice to Reliance Delhi, then credit will be appearing as per the system of GST. Credit will be appearing in form 2B of Reliance Delhi. But Reliance Delhi is not the correct recipient to claim that credit. As well as Delhi government will not allow Reliance Delhi to use that credit, because Delhi government will say, because credit has not been consumed there, you cannot claim the credit. What Reliance Delhi should do, they should take a separate registration and pass on this credit from Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra. It's like suppose Mr. A is supposed to pay 100 rupees to Mr. C and paid that 100 rupees to Mr. B. How can the same error be corrected? Only if B pays that 100 to rupees C, then we can have an understanding that A has paid to C. May I get yes again from Mr. D.V. Rao if he has understood it now? Okay. Thank you. Now you see, cross charge, 2 parties, input service distribution, 3 parties or more than 3 parties. Now, think of that example again, that lift example, where bill was 36,000 rupees and there were 4 tenants and everyone uh, used the lift and everyone paid 9,000 rupees, assuming each tenant used the lift and they are understanding that those who they will pay the charges of electricity bill. In the same way, input service distribution, the distinct person that has consumed the service, they will get the credit. In the example that I gave, where Delhi had the invoice, but Maharashtra used the service. So it is Maharashtra only which will have the right to claim that credit, not Delhi. Now, if you read these lines, basis of distributing input service distribution or input service credit. If specific distinct person is known, then the credit will be allotted or distributed to that specific distinct person only. And if we cannot have the basis, then we will distribute the credit in the ratio of their turnover. And turnover of last year will be considered, that is the basis. Now, if I share an example with you, if I ask an example, I will be seeking answer from you. Suppose security guard agency provided security guards to Delhi as well as Bombay. And total credit was 15,000 rupees. Half of the security guards were at Delhi, half of the security guards were at Maharashtra. How much credit will Delhi get and how much credit will Maharashtra get? If total credit is 15,000 rupees, equal security guards, so equal ratio 7,500 each. But you see, the answer is not that easy to write 7,500. What will really happen? Initially, 15,000 credit will be allotted or is allotted to the name of Maharashtra. Delhi, where invoice has been issued. And then Delhi will distribute that credit to Maharashtra if specific distinct person is known. Now, I ask you a different or give you a different example. Assume turnover of Delhi is 20 CR and turnover of Maharashtra is 10 CR. Both are distinct persons. They have common PAN number but different GST numbers. Turnover of Delhi is 20 CR. Turnover of Maharashtra is 10 CR. And their audit was conducted by a chartered accountant. Their audit was conducted by a chartered accountant. Common tax audit report was prepared, and chartered accountant raised an invoice where chartered accountant had charged 3 lakhs rupees to, I'm not moving the screen. So if it is not moving, this is okay because I'm not moving. Someone is saying that screen is not moving. I'm not moving the screen. I'm just sharing an example with you. Suppose turnover of Delhi 20 CR, turnover of Maharashtra 10 CR. Chartered accountant conducted the audit on all India basis and charged 3 lakhs rupees as GST in its invoice. How much credit should Delhi get and how much credit should Maharashtra get? This is the question. Two lakhs Delhi, 1 lakh Maharashtra. Exact. It means now we are very near to understand this concept on the basis of turnover. But you see, again, writing 2 lakh or 1 lakh is not appropriate in itself in the beginning itself. What is really happening in the case of input service distribution? First, chartered accountant will raise an invoice of whatever fees discussed, and 3 lakhs credit will be passed on to Reliance Delhi, and that all 3 lakh will be appearing in Form 2B of Reliance Delhi. And then they have to pass on this 1 lakh to Reliance Maharashtra by having a different GST number, which is called ISD number. ISD registration is a separate registration. Whatever normal GST number you have, that number will not be used to pass on that credit to Reliance Maharashtra. You will have to take separate GST number, and if as a client you are not taking different ISD number, you are inviting trouble, not only in the form of penalty, but later on, the way that credit will be passed on, if that credit is passed on from your regular GST number to Reliance Maharashtra, that is incorrect method. The method wherever credit is being accumulated on the basis of common services. On the basis of common services, there you require an ISD number, input service distributor registration number. So in this case, where invoice is being received by Reliance Delhi and services are being provided to Delhi as well as Maharashtra. Ma'am, we will take this question. I will take Q&A later on. If you have any question, please keep that question with you. I will take questions later on. Just be with me till 4:15. I was saying that well, there are other questions coming up. Please keep your questions with you. I will not take those right now. Suppose security guard agency is issuing invoice to Reliance Delhi, but providing services to Reliance Delhi as well as Reliance Maharashtra. Now my next question, where is registration required? Reliance Delhi or Reliance Maharashtra or both? I will not say Reliance head office. I will just say on the basis of given example, this is Reliance Delhi. That is the correct answer. Reliance Delhi. Now, if I give you another example, assuming there are certain invoices which are received in Reliance Maharashtra and service is being provided to Reliance Delhi, then their registration is required. Delhi or Maharashtra. On the basis of given last example only. Reliance is invoice is being issued to Reliance Maharashtra, but service is being consumed in Reliance Delhi. Where is registration required on the basis of this example only? The answer is Maharashtra, which is the correct answer. Two different scenarios. Now you see, if you plan in such a way that you keep, if you have distinct person, you have many registration all across India, then keep your planning in such a way that common, for the case of common credit like security guard services or chartered accountant services, where service is being provided to all India basis or to a particular unit, more than one unit, but invoice is raised to one particular unit, say Reliance Delhi or we say head office. If we are getting the invoices in other cities as well, then you may have to require multiple ISD numbers as well. So keep your planning in such a way that wherever common credit issue is there, receive all those invoices in a one office only, one city only, so that you require only one additional ISD number. This is an additional GST number in addition to your regular GST number. Your regular GST number is not an ISD number. ISD number will be different from your regular GST number. ISD number is not meant for carrying on any business activities. It is only for the purpose of accumulated common credit of service. Only service, not goods. Only service credit is apportioned to other states wherever that service is being consumed, because we follow the concept of destination based tax. Now we move to the next slide. Now you see a very important and relevant question. This section about input service distributor. It has been there since 1st of July 2017, since the date of inception of GST. Then why are we so eager about first time for you to ask this from you? I will say initially government said whether you follow cross chart system or ISD system, we are okay with it. We do not mind. Even if you take it as cross chart system, that you issue from Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra and do not take separate number, we are okay with it. This was even clarified by Circular 199. It was there, but since last year, when notification number 16/2024 dated 6th of August 2024, it was issued, it said 1st April 2025, this option is no more there that you follow cross chart I or ISD. You will have to compulsorily follow ISD route. So now 1st April 2025, if you have more than one offices in India, you have more than one GST number, you receive services at various cities in India, but being issued only one common invoice for the purpose of services, in that case, you are compulsorily required to take ISD number wherever you are getting the invoice. Not if you have 10 GST number, but common invoice, common service invoice is being received in Delhi only. Do you require one ISD number or 10 ISD number? This is my question to you. Well, lightning speed, I got the answer. If you are being issued invoice at one common place only, although you have 10 GST number, you require only one ISD number, not 10. Another thing which is really, if you have understood or heard the term input service distributor, the middle word is service. So only a credit of service is to be distributed, not goods is to be distributed. Understood? Only credit of service is to be distributed, not credit of goods is to be distributed. Understood? Yes or no? The key point that I shared just now. Okay. Only credit. The example I took, security guard services. The example I took, chartered accountant services. I did not take any example of goods. Now we are going to talk about 3 or 4 case studies, and hopefully you will understand these. And if you understand these, my work is done. ABC Limited has 2 units at Delhi and Chennai. ABC Limited has received tax invoice of INR towards advertisement service attributed to Chennai unit alone. Whether this credit can be distributed by ISD to Delhi unit. I've given you 3 options. Yes, no, it has a choice. Okay, the correct answer is no. You see again the common thing. Service was consumed in Chennai. Chennai government has the right to collect the taxes. And when Chennai government has the right to collect the taxes, only they can allow the credit. When tax is being collected by Chennai, why will Delhi government allow the credit to be taken in Delhi? They will not allow. But what is the procedure that is required? Invoice was issued to Delhi and advertisement service was attributed to Chennai unit alone. Where is registration required? Registration is required in Delhi because Delhi received the invoice. Now Delhi has already a regular GST number, but Delhi will have to take another ISD number, and please pay attention to these words. Now if ABC Limited has ISD number and it gives its regular GST number to that advertising agency, then ABC Limited is committing another error. ABC Limited is duty bound to share ISD number with that advertisement agency, not regular GST number. Now ABC Limited will have 2 numbers in Delhi. One is regular GST number via which it carries on its business, and second is ISD number via which it will not carry on any business. It will only distribute the credit that has got accumulated here. But if ABC Limited commits an error and provides it regular GST number to advertisement agency, then it is another error because credit will be distributed by ISD number by issuing an invoice, which is called ISD invoice, input service distributor invoice, not regular tax invoice. Now, if I ask you, wherever common credit is being accumulated in Delhi unit and that service is being consumed in Chennai, an invoice will be issued by Delhi ISD number to Chennai unit. Which invoice will be issued? Which invoice will be issued? Will it be regular tax invoice or ISD invoice? ISD means input service distribution invoice. ISD invoice. So now this is the second thing for you to know. Do not go by regular tax invoice, but do not commit this mistake that you provide your regular GST number to that advertisement agency. If you provide your regular GST number, then credit will be accumulating in that regular GST to be only, and then it cannot be passed on to Chennai unit. So you have to make sure that you give wherever common credit is there, where invoice is being issued to someone else and service is being used by someone else. In that case, have separate ISD number, and also to your supplier provide that ISD number, and stay assured or asking to ensure that invoice is issued in the registration of that ISD registration only, not regular GST number. So many times it may happen for your regular business transactions, you may have to give your regular GST number to your suppliers, but for the purpose of common service distribution, you may have to give separate ISD number to your supplier. Now we move to the case study number 2. ABC Limited has 2 units at Delhi and Haryana. It has bought a machinery for manufacturing uniforms for its employee and has input tax credit, say 1 lakh rupees. Whether the ISD can distribute the credit of the above said machinery, and if yes, assuming turnover is equal, how much credit will be passed on? Well, many answers I have got to know. I'm assuming that everyone has understood this, that when I said machinery, it is not a service, it is a good, and goods credit cannot be distributed. Only service credit can be distributed. This question was just shared to create or to make sure that you follow the concept of service only and not goods. I said that there was a credit of 1 lakh rupees. I said that turnover is equal. Someone might have answered 50,000, 50,000, but that is not the correct answer, because only service credit can be distributed. If specific party is there, assuming only one state has consumed that service, allot that credit to that unit only, and no other distinct person will get the credit. And if there cannot be any common basis, then take their last year turnover, and on the basis of ratio of turnover, distributing that ratio. That is the thing. Okay, it's good. Although I was expecting that there might be some wrong answers, but everyone has answered correctly. Now we move to the case study number 3. If registered person XYZ has 4 offices in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, and Maharashtra, then in which state he is required to be registered? Please answer option A, option B, or option C. Anyone? Means it can get itself registered anywhere, or all of the states it has to get registered, or it depends on the facts and circumstances of the case. Please answer option A, B, or C. Only one option. Well, many people have said have written answer C, and this is the correct answer. No more answer required. This is done. The answer is C. You see, it depends on the facts and circumstances of the case. The state that will be getting the invoices, assuming Delhi is getting the invoice for common services, and services are being consumed in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, and Maharashtra, then only Delhi is required to have GST number. Assume Haryana is getting some invoice and services are being consumed in Delhi, Punjab, and Maharashtra as well. Haryana is required to have number. Suppose some common invoice or some invoice for common services, invoice is being received in Punjab, and services are being consumed in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, and Maharashtra. Punjab is required to get itself registered. And last but not the least, if Maharashtra is getting the invoice for common services and services are being consumed in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, and Maharashtra, then only Maharashtra is required to get itself registered and not the other 3. So it depends on the facts and circumstances of the case where invoice for that common service is being received. Only that state is. So I repeat this, I say this again, if you have more than one registration, if I say you have 5 GST registration all across India, if at all the 5 states you receive some invoices for common services and then those services are being uh, consumed in 5 cities, then you may require 5 GST numbers. So plan your business in such a way that invoice for all common services are received at one place only, so that you require only one ISD number and not 5, because for every ISD different number you will require return filing, and then all that procedure is there, and it will of course enhance the business cost as well. This is a case study 3. Now there are some important questions about ISD for registration. What are the documents those are required? Well, the answer is simple. The normal documents which are required for your normal registration, same documents are required for taking ISD number. Invoice to be issued. Now, I seek answer from you. Which invoice will be issued in case of ISD? Is it tax invoice? ISD invoice. Okay, this is done. Return form. In which form will return be filed? Well, the answer is GSTR 6. Return frequency is monthly. Return filing date is 13. And question number 6, is nil return mandatory to be filed? This is the answer which I am seeking now. If there is no credit to be distributed in a particular month and there is nil data, is nil return mandatory to be filed? Please answer yes or no. Yes, of course, even if nil data is there, unless you will file, how will department get to know that it is nil? So it is to be informed. If we appear in an exam and we get 0 marks there for writing nothing there, or whatever we write is incorrect, still we are issued a mark sheet. So we have to file. You see, 3 questions I skipped. What is the return form? GSTR 6. What is the return frequency? I asked monthly, quarterly. You see, this session is not here to make sure or to make you remember the forms, or these things will be taken care by your particular chartered accountant or advocate only. But as a businessman, we should know, because if you do not follow the things, ultimately you will have to face the consequences. So these forms are not required to be kept in mind by the businessman. What is really required to understand this concept? And by the way you all have answered, I think that you have understood. Although this is really very tricky, many CAs or advocates do not understand this term, and even I have taken a lot of time to understand these terms, or whatever little I know that I'm sharing with you. Well, these all are the answers which I just shared. Now, how to take care about proper compliance? What to do? How to move further? You see, the best way to take an action, this is this. That is, just go through your profit and loss account. Just go through your profit and loss account in its entirety, item by item, and see first separate what are the expenses for goods, what are the expenses for services. For goods, ignore ISD concept, doesn't apply there. And for services, then see what are the services which are commonly used for more than one GST, or where invoice is received somewhere else and that service is consumed somewhere else. 2 examples I have already shared with you. Those are chartered accountant services where common tax audit takes place for pan-India basis, or security guard services, or there can be another thing as well. Assuming you have a software which for which it was built in Delhi only, but that software, that uses of that software is used by all the branches of a distinct person, of a particular distinct person, which has common PAN number but different GST number. There may be tele charges, there may be software charges. So just go to your profit and loss account, find out services for which common invoice is there. If you can have separate invoices, assuming like you have taken tele services for Delhi, Punjab, Maharashtra, if you can have 4 different invoices for all different states, then ISD number is not required. It will work. But if your supplier is issuing common invoice to Delhi, but service is being consumed somewhere else as well, then ISD number is required. So how will you take care about your compliance? You will just analyze your profit and loss account. I will not say to rule out your balance sheet as well. You may go through that as well if you find that there is some service which is finding place directly in your balance sheet only and not routing through profit and loss account. You may go through that. But generally, services are routed through profit and loss generally, but you can go through your balance sheet as well, but primarily go through your profit and loss account. Now, the thing that is shared with you, if you have taken tele services for 4 states, and if you want to escape from this route that you do not want to have any ISD number in the where invoice is being received. It's better to have 4 separate invoices separately for each state. In that case, in Delhi, you will not be required to have separate ISD number. Although I will say, if you have more than one unit, at least have one ISD number, even if you are required to pay, you are required to file nil return. Because if sometime later on, Priya ma'am, you are.
Yes, I just wanted to know how many more slides because we had said 1 hour, so we need some time for the question
Okay.
answers also. How long will the presentation take?
Well, I was told 90 minutes, so I
90. Okay, no problem, sir. You can continue.
okay. I will take 5 more minutes and then 5-10 minutes for Q&A.
Yes.
Because I was told about
90 minutes, 90 minutes, including question answer. Since
Yes, I will take 5 more minutes.
so
There is one more slide only.
perfect,
There is one
perfect,
more slide only.
perfect.
So how to take care about your proper compliance? Just go through your profit and loss account. And now the last slide, planning so as to stay compliant as well as minimal compliance. The thing that I have already answered with all of you, at least have one ISD number, if not more. But if you are not planning properly and at many states you are receiving the invoices, whereas service is being consumed somewhere else, then you may require more than one ISD number as well. My advice will be, although just a recommendation, at least have one ISD number, because if later on department finds out that you were required to have a GST number and you did not take, then penalty for not taking registration will be there, penalty for not filing returns will be there, and credit apportionment will come later, but at least penalty will start from not taking registration and for not filing returns. With this, I am open for Q&A.
Thank you very much for this lovely presentation, Devendraji. The session was such ease. With the ease you've taught us, it was a fantastic this thing. So I'm not too sure if people have a lot of questions. Um, if someone has any questions, either raise hand or put it on the Q&A box. Is there anything else? There were two questions which were put in the chat earlier. One is, it's also put now, which says pure agent and exempt supply of turnover to be considered in turnover.
Well, I will have to refer this to rule whether pure agent and exempt supply. I think exempt supply turnover is to be included, but I'm unsure about pure agent, so I cannot answer anything wrong as of now.
Sure.
So this question will have to wait because I will have to see. And first, see this thing can be found from section 20 or relevant rule 39 is there. You may refer rule 39. It is easily available over Google, and then you can find what is the definition of turn.
Okay. Another question is branches do not have accounts and admin staff. These services are provided by HO2 branch.
Okay. Well, this is a thing of cross charge, not ISD. The example I took earlier, that Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra, there are no three parties. If these services are being provided by head office to branch, then this is a case of cross charge, not ISD. In ISD, there are three parties. There is one outsider supplier as well. The example I took, chartered accountant or advertisement agency or security guard agency. There is one third person. So in this case, cross charge will apply. One more thing, Circular 199 says if some services are provided by head office to branch and only your admin staff is there or only salary expenses there, then the valuation of the same to be taken to be nil and no invoice is required to be issued. This answer is already there in circular number 199, but also think or understand that this is not a question of ISD, this is a question of cross charge.
Okay. Branches, okay. They also ask ISD invoices can be generated with IRN or QR code.
Well, this is not a supply. We have to understand that this is not supply that where e-invoice is required. This is not a normal tax invoice. This is ISD invoice only for the purpose of distributing. So no IRN or QR code is required, as per my understanding.
So one question says, how does it work for the RCM services?
Well, if this question is there, this question is really very good because RCM was earlier not there in ISD scheme. And Central Tax RCM section 9 subsection 3 and section 9 subsection 4, it was included from last year, and this year ISD reverse charge section 5 subsection 3 as well as section 5 subsection 4, those have also been included in the definition of section 2 subsection 61 in the definition of input service distributor. Yes, it will work for RCM as well. Now, if some RCM service is there for which invoice is being issued by a particular unit and services are being consumed by somewhere else, then ISD will have to pay RCM and distribute the credit of that RCM on the basis of specific distinct person, and if no specific distinct person, on the basis of turnover. And if ISD person is issuing invoice to the same state, then in its ISD it will levy CGST, SGST. If the different state, then it will involve IGST.
Great. The next question which we've received is, can invoices be raised by our vendors at our normal GST number instead of ISD GST number? And we can raise invoice from our normal GST number to our ISD GST number.
I need to understand this question. Please, can you repeat?
I'll just show it on the screen.
Yeah, please. Oh, okay. Can invoices be raised by our vendors?
Here. This one, sir.
Well, department will create problem for you. You will have to take and you will have to make sure wherever common services are there, common credit is there, make sure that you inform your vendors in advance that you see at least have ISD number, and even if only one mistake is there and department finds something for one invoice or two, impact will be quite less. But if most of the time, because generally what will happen, I understand Mr. Vikas' problem. What really happens if we have provided already our regular GST number to our suppliers? What sometimes suppliers do, they issue invoices on our regular GST number only and not on separate ISD number. This is what may generally, this may be the scene that may generally happen. But only with diligent your staff or CA or proper mailing, you can ensure that you share your ISD number, because if department finds it, they work within the four corners of the law. Now this section is mandatory from 1/4/2025, that is tomorrow. Department will never understand or hear your point. So you have to do this. If you follow this, although I agree that there is no law, but department will say that proper compliance has not been done. So you will have to make sure. I cannot say, because if we think from the department point of view, department वाले तो किसी के नहीं सुनते, तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा. बहुत उनको उनको समझाना मुश्किल है. Right? Even if I say that you are doing right, it will not serve any purpose.
So there's the next question, sir. You can see that also on the screen, that we have raised transportation invoice to our ISD customer, but unfortunately they are not accepting the invoice as he is ISDN. What to do, sir?
Credit note, debit note, reverse that and then issue correct invoice. Section 33, section 34 is there. You see, issue credit note, whatever invoice you have issued, whatever debit note or credit note, whatever the transaction it is, reverse the earlier transaction and issue different invoice, correct invoice. This is the. I hope I'm done.
Yeah, any other questions anyone has, if they can? Yeah, someone has just now sent again that if branch does not have any income right now, we are filing nil return. Is it necessary to register ISD?
When the concept is not linked with income, concept is linked with invoice is being received somewhere else, service is being consumed somewhere else. If that is the case, get registered as an ISD. If or better, do not take invoice there. Take invoice to that particular unit only where service is being consumed. Then no ISD is required. But if you are receiving invoice somewhere else, invoice at place A, and service is being consumed in B, then of course you will be required to have ISD number. It doesn't have any link with income.
One of the questions is, what if the customer will not accept the credit note in IMS portal? This is regarding the.
Well, this is a question of fact. What I can share is about law. Now, if your customer is not accepting, then of course, I cannot go at his place and accept or deny. Of course, I cannot do that. This is a question of fact, not law.
Yes. So there's one more question for RCM. Can we raise ISD invoice to branch basis to allocation of services, or all time need to raise ISD invoice basis turnover?
Well, if specific is there, like I give you an example. Suppose you have branches in Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat, everywhere. Our notice was received in Gujarat, and you hired a consultant there. That consultant raised invoice to Delhi, but provided its services to Gujarat. Now, this is a case of specific. 100% of credit will be apportioned to Gujarat only. And if there is no basis, only then turnover comes. If your case is specific, then pass on that credit on that specific basis. If specific is not there, then on the basis of turnover. This is what I shared in example of that lift example. If all are there, share equal. If specific one is not there in that city, then of course that person will not pay the bill. If specific is there, go specific. If not specific is there, then turnover of the preceding year.
So ISD distribution to be done on basis of last year audited financials?
No. Turnover definition is to be seen from GST rules only. For that, please refer Rule 39, because I'm unsure how turnover is to be, but it is not on the basis of audited financial, because GST turnover. Now you see, I give you an example, Ankita ji. You will appreciate. Assume Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra. An invoice of 10 lakh is issued. Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra, an invoice of 1 CR is issued. For the purpose of income tax, this is not turnover, because Reliance Delhi, Reliance Maharashtra, all India basis is one and same. But for the purpose of GST, that 1 CR is the turnover. So turnover definition from the perspective of GST is different from the perspective of your balance sheet turnover. So income tax turnover and GST turnover can be different. So go from the perspective of GST and not audited financial. That takes that sets of that turnover, which is common turnover. Like I said, Reliance Delhi to Reliance Maharashtra. For the purpose of GST, that is turnover. For the purpose of income tax, there is no turnover because same PAN number. अब अगर मैं अपनी return भरूँ, Davinder Delhi fills return of Davinder Maharashtra. So will Davinder earn any income? No. Although invoice will be issued, and there is no payment required as well. I hope this answers your query. If not, follow-up question can be there. Well, I'm not saying for the purpose of turnover, please refer Rule 39. I'm not discussing turnover definition now because I didn't find that relevant, that turnover question.
Great. So I think we are also done with all the questions. If anyone has any other question, otherwise over to Vasant Bhai. Vasant Bhai, Rama sir could not join because of a technical problem. So
Priya ma'am, I would like to take one more minute before I conclude.
yes, please.
Thanks to all of you for providing me this opportunity, although video didn't work. So I could not switch on that, although there was some error. Although I checked it earlier, it was not there, but all of you stayed, all of you gave me your valuable time, and this session was not for 1 or 15 minutes. I will say we will have to multiply it with 60 to 70 people. So we have invested almost 70, 80 hours. So thanks to all of you for providing me this. Thanks to Basanji, thanks to Priyaji, and thanks to Pradeepji and everyone out there. Back to you.
Most welcome, Ravindraji. It was such a interesting the way in the simplicity you explained. I'm sure this is going to be a fantastic recording, and this gets uploaded into our website. So anyone who's missed or want any clarification, they can always, and if require, if anyone has any questions to be asked with Mr. Devinder later, please write to us, and we'll be happy to get a response from Devinderji. Over to Vasant Bhai.
On behalf of AMTOI, I would like to thank Devinder Singh ji for sparing his valuable time and sharing his knowledge with us and our members. And I would also like to thank all our members who took time and participated. We know it was a public holiday today, but in spite of that, we had a very good attendance. And very soon we are coming up with one more good knowledgeable session, which will be announced in next few days. We look forward to your participation the same way as always. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Happy Eid, happy Ugadi, happy Navratri, and happy New Year, new financial year to everyone.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.